everyone, and welcome. I'm Gillian Clarke. I'm a therapist and an emotional wellness coach, and I am absolutely delighted to be talking to Julia Davies here, who is going to introduce herself in a moment. We're both here to chat about the Real Women, Real Lives, Real Wisdom series, this kind of passion project that I kickstarted out of the blue really a couple of weeks ago, and it's just absolutely grown momentum. So Julia was one of the first people that came to mind when I thought about this project and setting the intention that I wanted to collaborate with 8 beautiful women who have each had a role in inspiring my own journey, actually, out of you know, feeling pretty overwhelmed and into kind of living my purpose. So Julia, how about you introduce yourself?
Well, firstly, thank you so much for inviting me to participate in this. It's a real honour to be here, and so nice to finally find something that we can collaborate on, because I know we've always said we'll work together somehow.
Yeah.
So as Gillian said, I'm Julia. I'm a coach for quiet rebels. I, through one-to-one and group coaching programs, I support women who feel trapped by society's expectations and obligations, and help them kind of give themselves permission to step away from the status quo, mainly so they can feel freedom in like finding a purposeful life and meaningful work. So that's me in a nutshell.
And I love that, and actually I'm nodding because, you know, we actually, when did we meet? It's probably about 18 months ago now, wasn't it?
Oh, I can't think. I always think when you say a time, you probably double it, and it's more likely to be that. So it's probably 18 months to a couple of years or something.
I feel like we've known each other for a little while anyway. We kind of connected, didn't we, over a shared love of the sea, but through sort of a business coaching opportunity, didn't we? And we're just one of those kind of people that I just gravitated towards, and I know you've said the same about me, and we just kind of clicked, didn't we, over you know, our love of nature and our love of simplicity. And actually I was going to share on here, actually, the reason why I really wanted to collaborate with you over this, and why you've inspired me in my journey, is that you just have this, Julia has this absolute natural ability to just cut through the shit in life, basically, and just cut through all of that noise and see the real meaning and the real message in anything. And whenever I'm having a day where I'm like, oh, the noise is so loud, all of a sudden, magically, Julia, one of your posts pops up, and it's just exactly what I need to hear that day. And this is aside from, you know, the chats we've had outside of, you know, social media and everything. And yeah, just an absolute inspiration for cutting the noise out and living your true purpose, and your purpose, like you said, not anyone else's, but your own purpose. So thank you for inspiring me.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. Thank you so much. And yeah, just to echo what you said, it's just so nice to feel like when you meet someone, you just connect on every level, like from our love of the sea to just really how we run our businesses and how we live our lives. And as we'll come on to later, this quote, I think, really connects us. And I know we're both very passionate about it.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say we haven't, both of us would say, I'm sure, that you know, life hasn't always been this this purposeful and this meaningful for either of us, has it? And I know I've shared my journey through my page before, but how about you share with us, Julia, what your quote is that you're sharing as part of this Real Women, Real Lives, Real Wisdom sort of series, and what the story is behind the quote?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as soon as you said you'd like me to share a quote, I knew which one I'd choose, and I knew you'd love it too. This quote really just embodies everything I stand for in my business. And the quote is, "Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life." And I
love it.
Every time I read it, I'm just like, yes, this is what I stand for. This is why I'm here. This is why I do business, and this is what sort of drives me. And it's, yeah, I love it. So anyway, What it means to me is I feel like so many people think I'll feel happy when I make six figures. I'll feel happy when I meet whatever goal it is that you're working on at the moment, or I'll allow myself time off when I've sold 50 of whatever product you've got, or I'll slow down when I've got 5 clients or 10 clients. But the problem with that is that your perspective changes. So even if you said 6 months ago, I'll take time off when I've sold 50 products, for example, this week you've sold 45 and you feel like it's not enough. So you sort of say, oh, no, now I'll take time off when I've sold 80 products. And somehow enough and feeling like you're enough never quite arrives, because that perspective changes and your goals shift as you grow and you develop. So what I feel is really important is that even if you're right at the beginning of your business and you haven't got all the clients you want, or you haven't sold all the products you want, you haven't made all the money you want yet, you can still have a life, have fun, do that creative project and take time off and rest, which is a huge thing I know that both of us are really passionate about. But it's not just about the rest, it is about taking the time off to do the fun things and taking the time out to, you know, see your family and friends and do all the meaningful things, and even just do things just because you fancy it. I think it's really important to remember that taking time off to do fun things is purposeful. I think there's another quote, like I think it's something like, time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time, and I think that kind of links into it really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Gosh, yeah, it's so important, isn't it? I always think that, you know, actually the time we spend, you know, in purposeful leisure stuff, you know, that gives us that meaning, that gives us that sort of fun factor, actually sets us up to be able to, you know, realize our intentions in other areas of our life, doesn't it? Because it sets the mindset and it refuels your energy in ways that you wouldn't get from anything else. It's just so important.
Absolutely. It's really, really tough to remember that actually doing all those things is probably actually going to really benefit our business. So it's really scary to take time away from your business when you're building it, but actually, you know, doing that scary thing will pay dividends in the end.
So what about your own journey? What kind of brought you to this point of realization that actually you needed to, you know, invest in this kind of, you know, leisure and meaningful activity stuff outside of your business?
Yeah, well, I've had a few different things that have really contributed to that. The main thing being when I was in a corporate job, like many people are at some point. And I was in that corporate job and really just being on autopilot, not really making any conscious decisions, and just being really reactive to what I came up against in life. And then I think it was about 6.5 years ago, my partner had a paragliding accident. And that really, it was the catalyst for a lot of change, basically. It really gave us a huge shock to both of us.
Gosh, yeah.
He broke his leg very badly and spent a few years recovering. He's got some very good scars, but he's actually all right now. But yeah, it taught us a lot, and it really made us think we're not going to wait to do anything anymore. You know, we had met in the Philippines diving. We both knew we loved the sea, and yet we lived in Bedfordshire, which is basically as far away from the sea as you can possibly get in the UK. And so within a year, we moved to the coast. I went freelance and started a much more flexible lifestyle and began to sort of discover what it means to be me, which sounds really funny, but actually I had no idea at the time. And it became much more of a proactive approach to life instead of a reactive approach. And then I just decided that I wanted to be able to share this approach to life and business, and I trained to become a coach, and now I help other business owners do the same.
Isn't it interesting how so many of us kind of, once we kind of find a way of ditching the noise and the overwhelm and all of those expectations and you know, kind of rebel against that, find ourselves, we end up kind of helping other people do the same, because it's just had such a massive transformation in our own lives that it's like, why wouldn't we share that with anyone else?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I can't even recognize myself of, say, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just want to, you know, I can't go back and help myself because obviously that's not possible, but I just have this huge calling to help other people who are in the situation I was.
Yeah.
Just almost blindly going through, or sleepwalking through life, I suppose, and not realizing how many changes and how much choice you actually have, because I think a lot of people don't realize what choices they have and how many changes they can actually make. You feel really trapped in that situation, and I just want to now help people, you know, make those changes and give themselves that permission to step away from the status quo.
Do you know, I get a real sense, I know we've spoken about this offline as well, but I get a real sense that so many people, but I suppose especially women, you know, I'm particularly interested in women here, particularly this year, have really noticed how stuck they are feeling and how purposeless they're feeling, and all of the things that have kind of been niggling away at them have perhaps kind of, you know, reared their head and contributed to this, where am I going in life, what do I want my life to look like, and actually who the hell am I in this life anyway? And there's all of these big questions floating around now, which if you can't answer can actually make you feel even more stuck. And I think that was my big reason really behind curating this series, because I knew that each of the women in this series have inspired me, and I knew that being able to share your story, and I know you've got some kind of you know, kind of quick wisdom points from your story as well that you can share in a moment, will actually act as a kind of beacon of hope actually to women. You know, women tend to look to other women for all the signs and signals about what we should be doing. But in our own networks at the moment, I think we're looking around going, well, I can't ask that person because he's stressed out, and I can't ask her because actually she's really struggling at work at the moment. And we're like, well, where's the clue about how to handle this? And actually, if we can between us share some bullet points of wisdom, some real nuggets of real wisdom and hope, that will be enough to trigger or to act as a catalyst for change in other people, just like other people were to us in our early days of our journey. And it's so powerful, isn't it, sharing? And I think quotes as well, particularly for women, quotes are really powerful because they literally cut through everything. You just read a quote and it just sort of shouts something to you, doesn't it? So
yeah, absolutely. I'm so I absolutely love this project. I'm so excited about it. I would just echo that. I mean, this year in particular, I've really relished how important networks of women are, and like how having that support in business and in life just means everything, and that's what kind of gets you through. So yeah, having these networks, whether it's sort of a paid for coaching program, or whether it's, you know, just friendships or business besties or whatever it is, you know, they are just so helpful, and you know, I just wouldn't be without them these days.
No, it's a lifeline,
yeah,
isn't it?
definitely. So yeah, I just a couple of points.
Yeah,
just a couple of things that I've come up with that can help anyone, literally, however stuck you feel. I've really taken it back to basics, because you really just never know what's going to happen. I really personally learned that when my other half had his paragliding accident, but it's one of those things that I think you learn and relearn, especially this year. You know, you really never know what's going to happen. But anyway, the two things that I think anyone can do is, firstly, stop. You know, that literally is my biggest thing. If you are stuck or overwhelmed, stopping is the biggest thing that you can do, and finding some sort of thing to do instead that will help you be more present and be more mindful. So it's different for everyone. I like to go for a walk on the beach, or bake something, or do a creative project. I know that helps you. So whatever it is that's going to help you sort of come back to yourself and be more present, then do that instead. And the second thing is noticing what all the small magical things in life are.
I love that.
So it's kind of linked to the first thing. It's all about being more mindful, being more present. But, you know, noticing how lovely that delicious cup of tea is in your favourite mug. Notice when you're having that cup of tea, like all the birds singing, all the colours of the leaves and those sorts of things, and just really enjoying those small things. And the more you remind your brain of those lovely small things, the more you notice more lovely small things, and what you focus on expands. So you'll just get into this lovely cycle of noticing all the nice things around you, and it will just keep you feeling good in the most simple sense of the word.
Well, yeah, that's just music to my ears. It even just makes me feel all lovely listening to that, because you know, I love doing those things as well. But that's absolutely super advice, and that those two kind of real nuggets of wisdom there. If you're listening to this or watching this and you are feeling just totally wrung out with everything and really stressed out, go do something right now, even if it's just for a couple of moments. Like Julia says, go and make a cup of tea, make it in your favorite mug, and just stop for a couple of moments. And that really is just enough to interrupt your body's stress cycle. And as you say, Julia, just to bring your focus and your attention into the present moment. Because believe it or not, when you're focusing on one thing, your brain actually can't think of anything else. Contrary to popular belief, you know, you can't think of anything other than the thing that you're focusing on right now. So make that a cup of tea, or, you know, going for a walk or something like that. That will really help you. Julia, thank you so much for, you know, sharing the quote that has meant and so much to you, and kind of, you know, sharing your story and your wisdom from your own learning and your own life, for the benefit of others that, you know, need to hear this message at the moment.
Well, thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
I am so excited about illustrating your quote for you. Honestly, I've got my paints ready. I've got ideas, as you would expect. I've got ideas floating around my head because, as I said to you earlier, this is one of my favourite quotes as well. So I'm trying to put that to one side. But being the creative that I am, I've got, you know, 1,000,001 ideas about it already. So yeah,
I can't wait to see it. And there's a special place on this wall that it's gonna go on.
And just to remind everyone, you will actually be able to purchase the finished illustrated quotes in, I think we're just going to go for postcards to start with. In the future, we might go for a few sort of larger prints. You'll be able to purchase these packs of postcards, and 20% of the profits of all sales of these will be going to Mind, which personally is a charity close to my own heart. I do a lot of fundraising for them, and I also personally believe they're one of the charities that needs our support right now. And this is, you know, a passion project that will help us at the moment listening to this, but also will help the people that Mind can support as well. So it's all good stuff. So thank you, Julia, and we will put down below how people can contact you if they want to find out more about you and you know, what you offer, and kind of your regular takes on life, which, as I say, are hugely inspirational to me, and I know they will be to other women. So we'll pop the links below when we post this video live, and yeah, we will catch up with each other again soon, no doubt.
Super. Thank you so much for having me, Gillian, and I can't wait to see the finished postcard.
You're welcome. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.